My name is Anthony Lump. I'm doing a project for Mr. Michael's class where I had to compare elements and proceedings and decisions related to the right to a fair trial in criminal and civil courts and describe alternatives to litigation for maintaining order and resolving conflicts within the United States legal system, including mediation, arbitration, alternative dispute resolution, and plea bargaining. Boroff versus Van Wert City Board of Education in 2000. What happened in this case? Nicholas J. Boroff, a senior at Van Wert High School in Toledo, Ohio, came to school wearing a Marilyn Manson t-shirt. The shirt displayed a distorted image of Jesus with a caption that read, "See no truth, hear no truth, speak no truth." The back of the shirt had the word believe written on it with lie highlighted. The school principal told him the shirt violated the dress code, which prohibited offensive images. The student refused to change his shirt, left, and came back the next day with another Manson t-shirt. He decided to sue the school after the same thing happened the next day. The case was dismissed by the Federal District Court and appealed to the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. So who is involved? Nicholas Boroff, the school board of the high school, and Boroff's mother. Why did the parties act as they did? Boroff and his mother thought that the school board was violating his freedom of expression and due process. The school board acted as they did because they thought Boroff's t-shirt was offensive. Here are a couple of examples of the shirts that Boroff wore. The issues, the legal amendments involved. The First Amendment, right of free speech, freedom of expression. The student was prohibited from wearing a t-shirt he wore as an expression. The 14th Amendment, citizenship and civil rights, due process of law. A federal district court dismissed the suit at first, so it was appealed to the 6th U.S. Court of Appeals. The public policy. Some agreed with that the t-shirt was offensive and shouldn't be worn in school. Others thought that it was Boroff's right of free speech. The arguments. Consequences to parties and society as a whole. On one hand, the consequence of Boroff faced was that he wasn't allowed to attend school while wearing Marilyn Manson t-shirts. The consequence of the school board, however, was facing punishment by the Supreme Court if they were found to have violated his First Amendment rights. To society as a whole, the t-shirt could be offensive or it could be a violation of First Amendment rights. Decision. The Sixth Circuit panel of the Supreme Court ruled 2-1 in favor of the Van Wert City Board of Education. The decision was based on the fact that it's very appropriate and normal for schools to regulate dress code and prohibit violent or offensive clothing. It is highly appropriate function of School Board of Education to prohibit the use of vulgar and offensive terms in public discourse. In addition, the court ruled that the school could prohibit clothing which is patently contrary to the school's educational mission. The analysis. How did this case change our rights? The case outlined that while we all are granted the right of free speech, certain restrictions must be placed in order to protect the educational environment. Many schools implement dress code to ensure the best possible learning environment. Do you agree or disagree? I agree with the court decision. I think that offensive messages on t-shirts are a distraction and are inappropriate for a learning atmosphere.